Tony Kanaan's going to retire after the upcoming Indianapolis 500, and police tonight looking for a car that sideswiped some other cars and crashed into a fence. Welcome inside the comfy confines of the Channel 13 studios. It's only Wednesday, ladies.
I heard you say that earlier, and I thought,
I thought this was Thursday.
I thought that last
Wednesday.
week.
No, don't approach it like that. Glass half full. It's Wednesday.
No.
We're over half. We're over half the way there.
Well, maybe that is a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
But Thursday, we do want to keep you weather aware because we've got a chance for some severe weather tomorrow, right?
Yes, we are under the threat for severe weather. Right now on live Doppler 13 radar, it's quiet, but we don't have to go too far south and west to pick up on this developing storm system. We do have storms beginning to take shape across parts of southwest Tennessee. That's as close to us as it gets. And then across portions of Oklahoma and North Texas, those areas highlighted in yellow under a severe thunderstorm watch. We also are under winter weather advisories and warnings, and less than 100 miles separates the severe event from the winter event with this powerful storm system that we're tracking. Right now, the greatest threat for severe weather will be along and south of the Ohio River, but we're close enough that the Storm Prediction Center keeps most of central Indiana under that risk for storms that produce hail, damaging winds, and a couple of tornadoes can't be ruled out. We're going to watch this for you hour by hour. You might be curious, okay, when does it get here? It'll be into the southwestern part of the state by 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then when we kick off sunrise at 4, Chuck will be looking at live Doppler 13 radar and showing you the rain and some embedded thunderstorms moving in. A few of those could be on the gusty side with perhaps some damaging winds and some lightning. Heavy downpours may slow you down for the morning drive on Thursday. That area moves out, and then if we get any sort of clearing, the atmosphere is going to destabilize, and it may not even take clearing, honestly, because there's enough instability, enough wind shear in the atmosphere to get a couple of these thunderstorms going tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon into early evening, and a few of these individual storms are the ones that may rotate. So we're going to watch this for you closely during the day tomorrow. And again, we are under that threat for some severe storms across central Indiana. Timing 2 waves, the first tomorrow morning from about 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. Get a bit of a break, and then we'll watch for some redevelopment, especially Indianapolis east and southeast.
Mean we're going to be woken up at 4 in the morning with storms?
Maybe a few rumbles of thunder.
You feeling good about that, Felicia?
Well, I'm
She's
a pretty
thinking.
good sleeper. Well, I am thinking. You see my thinking face.
Your cap is on.
It seems like I will be able to get my afternoon walk in, so that's what I was trying to fit.
Sure.
Right.
And Scott was asking the same thing. So really the best advice for any outdoor plans, because we do think there will be a break between round 1 and round 2, is check that live Doppler 13 weather app. You can see the radar on your phone. Okay, I've got a break. I've got a half hour, 40 minutes, whatever it may be to do whatever you need to do.
Absolutely. Try to get some of those errands out of the way.
You bet. All right, we got a lot of folks joining us tonight. Teresa saying evening friends. We've got Jack saying wow about the weather tomorrow. Greg Miller joining us tonight. Greg, good to have you with us. Joyce from Versailles. So it's great to have everybody with us tonight. We'll get back to Angela, talk a little bit more about the forecast in a moment. Look who showed up in the studio tonight. Friend of the show, Logan Gay.
Hi.
We don't get a chance to see you very much at 10 o'clock, so we're glad that you're with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so
Happy
you've
to
got
be
this
here.
story about this driver that plowed into some cars and a fence and took off, right?
Yes, well, guys, I'm calling it the case of the serial swiper. So what happened is neighbors on Valentine's Day morning on the near east side woke up to find that their cars had been swiped. You can see the footage here. This is for some ring camera footage. And then also a fence. You can see that here.
No.
Right into the fence. And this driver just, you see him drives off, or see him or her drives off. Leaves no information, no insurance information, just continues on their way, and that's some of the damage there. And so these neighbors are frustrated because now they're left to foot the bill,
Right.
and they want someone to be held accountable for this damage. And you'll hear a nasty crunch in the story later on tonight. But yeah, it's a sad thing because it's going to cost money, you know, and they're not too happy about that. So tonight we'll hear from one of those neighbors about, the impact and what it was like for them to watch this footage.
Yeah, those ring cans. I tell you, I mean, it's a new day and age. I mean, you should never do anything that's bad or against the law, but I mean, people have to keep in mind these ring cameras are catching everything, everywhere.
They are, and they would have never known what happened if it wasn't for those cameras.
Right.
Well, hopefully people seeing your story tonight at 11 will get an idea of who this car is. You'll have more of a description, hear from one of the victims. That's all coming up when Logan joins us tonight for the news at 11 o'clock over on Channel 13. Logan, we know you're trying to edit your story, so we're going to let you go. And great always to have you here at 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Friend of the show, Logan Gay, joining us tonight. All right, let's talk a little Indy 500. We got this announcement a couple of days ago that there was going to be a special announcement regarding one of the drivers, and today we learned that Tony Kanaan, very popular race car driver in the IndyCar circuit, 2013 Indy 500 winner, is stepping down. He's 48, wants to retire. He's got 4 kids. People love him here in Indianapolis. And so I got a chance to talk to Tony and his wife after the news conference today, and they shared why he is retiring. We're with Tony Kanaan and his wife Lauren moments after he has announced that he is retiring after the Indy 500. Why are you leaving the Indy 500 after May's race?
So I'm not leaving. I'm not driving anymore. But, I think it's time. We thought about it, we talked about it. This place has been awesome to me. We made Indy home, but it's time. I think we'll do one last dance driving the car, and then I can come here and probably enjoy race day with you guys. Just interviewing people and driving the pace car. I made a joke to Doug Bowles. I said, Doug, this is my final Indy 500, but I can still get to lead a lap maybe the following year if you get me the pace car to drive.
You talked today about your emotions and what that will feel like on your final race day. Can you take us through those emotions as you visualize racing for the final time here?
I'm trying not to, because I think, race day, we all know how emotional it is already, let alone knowing it's my last one. So I think I'll be crying a lot. Lauren said she's probably not going to wear any mascara as well because she will be too, but it's going to be emotional for sure, but it's been a great run. I can't thank the fans enough. I think I'm here, and I am who I am because of them. So we'll give them one more run.
You finished 3rd last year. There are a lot of people that think, why not give it another go in 2024?
Well, we're giving it another go in 2023, and if we win, you never know.
Leaving the door open. Lauren, what was the discussion like with Tony about this retirement at home?
We talked about it for a little while, and I've always said I do really trust his judgment. He knows what it feels like in the car and when it would be time. I simply asked. Obviously, he's got a lot of people behind him and sponsors who all wanted to be part of a year like this, which is really incredible. We're fortunate for that. I simply said, is this what you want? And he said it is. So I have to trust that and I'll cry a little bit myself, I guess, because I sure will hate not getting to see him do it any longer. But it's true. Maybe I'll be a lot less stressed myself on race days going forward. So he says he's okay, so I'm okay.
You've got 4 kids. What's the reaction been like with the kids hearing that Dad's going to stop racing in the Indy 500?
Well, actually, knowing my kids, they are excited because I can spend the race with them at the bus at this track. So obviously Leo, the oldest, is kind of like, asking some questions. Is it? The other 3 are, they're young enough that I don't think they realize exactly what's going on. As long as they can get to come to the track, which we will be here regardless, they're fine.
If this were a Hollywood movie, what would be the perfect ending come race day in May?
Well, Hollywood is, the perfect ending will be Tony Kanaan passes, I'm not going to name anybody, otherwise I'm going to put somebody on the spot, passes for the lead, going into turn 3 on the last lap, wins the race, gets in the podium, put all his 4 kids and his wife on top of his 66 Aero McLaren car, and we drop the mic. That's a perfect ending.
That is a perfect ending. You've had a terrific career, TK. Thanks for all the memories.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Lauren, great to talk to you as well.
Scott.
All right, so it was great talking with them today. Tony's going to race in some other circuits this year, but in terms of 2024, doesn't really have any plans at this point.
Okay.
And he's been a part-time driver here at the Indy 500 in the IndyCar circuit, but he is so popular, and when he won it in 2013, the crowd noise is what I remember from that race.
Yeah.
So this is 10 years ago. But when he crossed the line and won that race, the place just erupted. It was like the whole track just
Stood up
jumped.
and- yes.
It was just amazing.
Yeah.
One thing to really note that I don't want viewers to miss there that you said at the top of your interview is that he's not going away.
Right.
He's just not going to be a driver.
Right,
So hopefully
right.
we still see TK in the mix, or at least be able to see some of his expertise on the track.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with IndyCar in some kind of role at some point, because he's just so popular. But we wish Tony a lot of luck, and we know Anne-Marie Tiernan,
Oh,
who's
yes.
a giant fan of TK's, will be rooting for him to win his second. And can you even imagine what that might be like?
No.
I mean, look, we always look for great stories at the 500. Obviously, if Elio were to win
Another
the
one,
drive to
sure.
5, that's what he's looking for. But if TK were to win,
Yeah.
my gosh, it'd be a huge, huge win.
Really exciting.
And you know what Friday is?
100 days to the
100
race.
days.
That's right. Because we're always in the
Yes.
countdown,
They're
Felicia.
always in the countdown.
No.
Can I say I also appreciate you asking his wife what that is like, because
Right,
I mean
right.
when you have such a big career like that,
Yeah.
and I mean hopefully with any marriage there's that discussion
Sure.
that's behind the scenes, like what we're gonna do, how we're
Yeah.
gonna do it, how's it gonna go down. I mean, I would say she's just as much as an IndyCar as he is.
That's
for
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure. He's just such a great guy, and he came from very humble beginnings in Brazil. Didn't speak any English when he moved here, and he talked today. He now speaks like 4 languages.
Wow.
So he's a terrific guy. We're big fans of TK and wish him all the best.
Well, and he obviously would be a great ambassador for IndyCar.
Oh my gosh,
I mean,
yeah,
a face
absolutely.
and
He has so much personality.
agreed.
He and his wife and their 4 kids live here in Indianapolis.
awesome.
So they've made their home here, so it's great. All right, so tomorrow we've got these 2 waves of storms.
Yes, 2 waves of storms. Be sure to tune in to sunrise. Maybe set your alarm clock a little early, because with the heavy rain and that threat for some thunderstorms around for the morning drive, it just may take you longer to get where you're going early tomorrow. First wave we don't think will be too severe at this point, but can't rule out a gusty thunderstorm. Timeline for that is about 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then expecting a bit of a break. We're going to watch closely any additional storm development tomorrow afternoon through early evening. We get a couple of individual storms going, or a line that forms.
Right.
A few of those could rotate. So damaging winds, the big threat, but we
Right.
can't rule out hail or a tornado or 2.
Tammy has an interesting thought and a question. Tammy says, this winter has been so strange, makes you wonder if spring is going to be really wet and summer is going to be hot. What do you think, Angela?
Now see, typically we have to have a dry spring to get into a hot summer. Typically.
Yeah.
I haven't looked too far ahead down the road at
Right.
what, that 30-day, 60-day, 90-day outlook. Just from past years, I feel like we're probably going to pay for this in March or April, when we should be, staring down spring and things blooming.
Right.
And we're dealing with snow. I feel like it's been the last several Aprils we've had some snow.
Yeah.
So.
It's not
you guys looked
fun.
over
It's
here.
not fun around central Indiana when we're getting snow in April.
Yeah, I mean, okay, a random Thursday of snow, we can do that. What we don't want is like 4 weekends of
Sure.
snow in April.
That's
Well,
right.
and everything, things get confused when it's this warm, this
right.
early. On my walk, I saw, I don't know if they were going to be daffodils or what, but, green popping out of the ground.
Good
The
point.
annuals.
Good
Yeah,
point.
and, trees start to bud and things like that, and you really don't want that to happen,
Yeah.
and then it all get ruined,
Yeah.
killed by a freeze.
You also hear these things about mosquitoes. You almost want that hard freeze so we don't deal with mosquitoes as much.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
somebody can fill
silver
us in on
lining.
that.
Yeah, nature itself
the
needs
cold.
things to behave the way they should
that's
behave.
true.
Right. Bees and other things. It's just, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But here we were, almost 70 today.
There you go. All right. Well, we're glad that you joined us with us tonight. We've got a lot of news to cover when we see you at 11 o'clock over on 13. And Angela's 7-day forecast. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you then. Good night.